Most fans of anime and manga can point to a moment. The moment the story caught their attention and they realized they were in for something they would love. Rock Lee vs. Gaara, The Walk to Arlong Park, Isagi nailing Kira in the side of the face, watching the AMV of Adam vs. Zeus, hearing the premise of interspecies reviewers. These are just some common examples of places people point at as the moment they got hooked. For me, and Undead Unluck, the moment I knew I was in for something really special was when the characters were given a relatively light punishment for failure, the creation of the universe. Let me explain. Mild spoilers for Undead Unluck. If you watch this and then go read the series, you'll still find some surprises, but hopefully this encourages you to check it out. Undead Unluck is the story of Undead, Andy, and Unluck, Fuuko, two negators on a quest to fall in love and kill Andy. I could probably make a whole other video about the series' power system, but to keep it short, in this world, there are rules. Rules that govern every aspect of existence. The world functions on rules, and it suffers because of them. Those rules create two different kinds of beings, negators and umas. Negators, human vessels for the rules, usually identified with the prefix un, can negate the rule of the world they are connected to. All living things die, not undead. Things can be seen, not if you are or belong to unseen. People don't do things they don't want to do. Tell that to Unjustice. Yeah, the names and puns can get a bit tortured. The point is that at least one aspect of how things are supposed to work in existence fails to matter when it comes to these guys. Umas, on the other hand, are living representations of the rules, usually in monstrous forms. The Uma's spoil is basically the concept of spoiling given form. Same with an Uma like burn. And if you kill an Uma, its rule disappears for the rest of the world, as well as the memory of that rule. Except for negators, from whom's perspective the world has simply drastically changed and everyone else is acting like it's normal. Andy, seeking to end his existence, believes that a strong enough burst of unlock will do the trick, and he plans to get that unlock through the power of raw, unfiltered riz. I am completely serious. Sin City. Now that's already a pretty good premise, as we follow the exploits of the Union, a group that tries to control the proliferation of Umas and negators to keep the world from falling into chaos, while trying to figure out how to reach and kill God for doing this to them and their world. The moment I referred to earlier is actually an accumulation of a lot of smaller moments sprinkled in from Andy and Fuuko's attempt to join Union all the way to after their first mission for it, many of which I actually missed on first reading because I was binging the series and simply brushed off how strange what the characters were saying was. In chapter 5, while in Russia, Fuuko meets Gina, a woman whom she paints with while she waits for Andy. As they talk, Fuuko paints the night sky. Well, the night sky as we know it, but Gina is confused by all the little things she's put in the sky with the moon, and Fuuko basically goes, well, as you know, there's nothing in space except for the moon and sun. I really can't believe I glossed over such a glaring sentence. Fuuko essentially got the idea to draw some tiny little friends for the lonely moon. Later, when Fuuko and Andy actually manage to join Union, so the story has a plot besides simply dropping buildings on undead hoping one of them sticks, they get to partake in their first batch of quests, given by the book Apocalypse. A batch that from the start the leader of the Union does not believe that they could accomplish, which means they have to prepare to accept the punishment for failure, the addition of a strange new Uma, Galaxy. You see where this is going, right? Andy and Fuuko's first quest is interesting in its own right, though the only thing that happens in it in relation to this video is the revelation that they don't have the concept of days. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, all non-existent. That I noticed, but I got distracted by all the hype. While they do actually manage to accomplish most of their objectives, they ultimately fail due to outside interference, and thus, Galaxy is created. From the perspective of the negators, a sky that once only contained the sun and the moon exploded into a collection of planets and stars. But for the rest of the world, these things were simply a constant. The celestial bodies and all the things that came to be as a result. Myths that would lead to things like the naming of the days of the week, constellations for navigations, and the concept of aliens. What was once non-existent becomes something that's been a fact of reality, a rule from the inception of the earth. Oh well, now that it exists, from the inception of the galaxy. But before that can properly sink in, Union has to deal with the fact that aliens are currently invading the Earth. The Axe, or as you may choose to call them, Shredder aliens, are invading the planet as their own is spiraling towards ruin. It's a classic give us your resources plotline that makes one wonder if there really is no way in the whole universe for such an advanced race to get those resources without picking a fight. In order to allow their species to continue to flourish, they have deemed that they must take over the Earth, a smaller undeveloped planet. And if they must, they will destroy all of humanity to accomplish it. This is what they consider must be done. This is what to them they consider justice. As the alien ships destroy each other, I'm gonna go with Juiz. As the alien ships destroy each other, Juiz, the leader of Union, explains that this was actually a fortunate turn of events. When a rule is added, it could spell the sudden destruction of all humanity. The alien invasion was actually a lucky situation because just her ability alone was able to put an end to it before it became a real problem. But Galaxy's the 99th penalty Union has been given, and the 101st penalty is a word she doesn't understand, probably because most mythologies as we know it didn't develop the same without the stars, but it's one she assumes must mean the end of the world. Ragnarok. That's when Juiz realizes the alien she was talking to didn't kill himself and gives him a simple warning to spread through all of space. Keep your hands off planet Earth. This would be the last contact humanity would ever have with extraterrestrial life. Miss Juiz is kind of a badass. Undead Unluck already had an interesting premise that only got more and more interesting with each chapter. Action, mystery, romance, high concept. This is not a case of a story getting good by chapter 20, but the introduction of Galaxy, as well as how its introduction affects humanity, shows just how sheer and absolute the scale of the story is, as well as gives proper context to the true plot and threats of the story. And at least for me, going back and seeing the detail of just how this was set up revealed just how much thought had gone into the story to prepare for this concept. And this was just in the first 20 chapters. As of the moment I'm recording this, the story has over 160 chapters, and I can tell you, it does not fail to deliver. Do check it out if you haven't seen it yet, and if anything in this video appeals to you. And with this being the first, I do plan on making some more Undead Unluck videos in the future, so subscribe if you'd like to see more videos on the series. In the meantime, if you enjoyed this video, please leave a like and comment your thoughts on it down below. Thank you, and good day.